concept and process of communication. What is communication? And different things we do, those are forms of communication. Communication entails, two or more people coming together to share ideas. You can't just be communicating with yourself when you are not insane. All right, you can't be communicating with yourself. You must definitely be communicating with somebody, or somebody is communicating with you, or you are communicating with group of people. Just the way I'm doing now, I'm communicating with some people. I am not communicating with myself. I'm communicating with some people, either one person or two people or more than two persons. So communication is the process of exchanging information. Now, in the process of communicating, you are definitely exchanging ideas. So communication involves exchanging of ideas. The funniest part of communication is that the most widely spread communication, all right, the most widely spread communication is the negative aspect of communication. If I should tell you that okay, let me give you an illustration. A niche or a topic was given. A female student in SS1 was impregnated by their maths teacher. Click here to read more. That's a topic, or that's a niche, all right? Number two, a male student got a scholarship to study computer engineering in Canada. Click here to read more. Please, let's don't deceive ourselves. Which one will you click? Is left for you. But I believe that the one that will move, or that will drive you mostly to read, is the female student. Everybody wants to read negative information. Everybody wants to know what really happened that made that mathematics teacher to impregnate an SS1 student. But what make that other student to get that scholarship? We are not after that one. The negative aspect of communication is what we want to read. So that is what we refer to as communication. All right. So majority want or wishes to learn or to read the other side of communication, which is really affecting. It's affecting our thinking faculty. It's affecting the way we think. It's affecting the way we behave. It's affecting every aspect of our life. It's a way of changing ideas, all right, through a common system or symbol. All right. Now there are diverse ways through which we can communicate. Communication could be in form of a symbol. If I'm doing like this, once I do like this now, I'm communicating to you. If I do like this now, you know what it means. If I should do like this now, you know what it means. I don't know, but you know. Me, I don't know. What's the meaning of this one? Because if I should tell a little boy or a little girl or someone, if I do like this, you all know what it means. But if you should go to another country and you do like this, they will even tell you bye bye. But in Nigeria now, if you should do like this, you know what it means. In Nigeria, if I do like this, you know what it means. So all those are symbolic way of what communication. Then we have behaviors. The way we behave. If I should start reacting like this, hmm? Once I start holding my tummy, or once I start behaving somehow, you know that I'm trying to communicate something to you. Now look at the way our baby do communicate with our parents. Look at the way our babies, all right, our kids, our little children, look at the way they communicate. If a baby is crying, some parents will know what that baby needs. All right, they will know that this baby has poo poo. If the baby is hungry, this sign is hungry sign. So those are modes, or those are ways of which we communicate with each other. Now let's move to the other subtopic, process of communication. In the process of communication, there are some things that must be noted. Number one, we have the sender. In every communication, there must be someone sending that communication. All right, we have the sender, we have the message, we have the channel, we have the receiver, we have the feedback. All right, these are processes through which information is being disseminated. Number one, we have the sender. I am the one sending an information to you. I'm communicating an information to you now. All right, and you are watching me now. It could be group of you. You could be 3, you could be 4, you could be 5, and it can only be one person. I'm sending an information, and the information I'm sending to you, you can take it or leave it. All what I'm doing is what? Sending an information. Now this information I'm sending is a message. All right, message. The information, idea or thought being conveyed, that's a message. I'm conveying a message to you. I'm conveying an idea to you. I'm sending something to you. When a message comes into your phone, you check it. All right, you look at the message. Bah, someone has sent me a message. Oh. If it is a negative message, what will you do? Your mood will change. If it is a positive, what happen? You will be happy. So message also determines mood. Message also drives mood. Then we have the channel through which the message is being sent. The channel could be electronic or manual. All right. We have diverse ways through which a message is being communicated or a message is being sent. That's a channel. The channel through which the message is being sent, all right, is referred to as a channel. The way or where the message or how the message is being sent is referred to as the channel. Then we have the receiver. You are the back end receiver. You are the one receiving the information I'm sending out. Then we have the feedback. Every message is expects a feedback from the receiver. Now the feedback will enhance or it will glorify or it will how will I put it? It will make the sender of the receiver know that yes, people are really following. For me to know that you are following what I'm teaching, I want every one of you to drop a reaction. Just get me. I want a feedback from you. Yes, sir. Yes, yes, yes. I want a yes. I want to go on. I want a feedback from what I'm teaching now. Thank you. Then now also note that a communication, the process of communication could be linear or interactive. What we mean by a linear communication discuss or explain a one-way communication. That's me and you, we are communicating. That's a linear, a line, a straight way of communicating. I'm communicating with you. Please, what I'm sharing to you, don't share with another person. All right, it's an adaptive way of communicating. I'm telling you something. It's a confidential information, so I'm telling it to you. Don't tell it to another person. All right, that's a linear way of communication. Then communicating. Then the other one is what is interactive. All right, what I'm doing now, I'm interacting with some group of persons. I'm not talking to one person. This information I'm disseminating is not confidential information. It's an interactive way of communicating because I'm speaking to two or more persons. A linear communication entails the sender, the message, the channel, and the receiver. That's a linear mode of communication. It entails the sender, the message that the person is sending, the channel through which the person is sending the message, and the receiver. Why? The interactive communication involves the sender, the message, the channel, the receiver, the feedback. So those are the two modes or two ways through which communication is being enhanced. Then let's move to the next one. We have effective communication. An effective communication, if you want to know an effective communication has its own embodiment. Effective communication has its own role. Effective communication has what it also play in the field of communication. Now, an effective communication is clear and concise. All right, an effective communication, that message in that effective communication is always what's clear. It's not blah 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 blah. I'm not just blabbing. I'm communicating, and my communication is effective. If the communication is not effective, then send me a feedback. I don't understand this. The process while you are even trying to send a feedback is a sign to show that the message or the communication is effective. But an ineffective communication, like blah, 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 it's like I'm rapping, right? So that's not an effective communication, right? But an effective communication must be clear and must have a definite, it must have what it's serving. It must have a purpose. An effective communication must be clear and have a purpose. Then an effective communication must be active. It must be active to the listener. All right. Now, if I'm communicating, if my communication is in form of an action, or if I'm acting in my mode of communicating, everybody will pay attention. The attention they are paying is to know the aftermath or to know the end of that movie. All right, it's a sign that communication is attractive. All right, everybody is paying a full attention to the information. Then an effective information must also have what? It must have a feedback. An effective communication must have a feedback. So if my information is effective, there must be what we call a feedback. Feedback is trying to react, trying to send a message, trying to communicate to what that person has sent to you. So feedback is very, very important in every messages or in every communication. Now when you look at the concept and process behind communication, diverse or different things have been broken down. All right, different things have been broken down. We talked about the channel, we talked about feedback, we talk about sender, we talk about message, we talk about the linear, we talk about the interactive, all right, mode of communication. So if you have any question, you can drop your question and it will be treated. Now let's now move to the types of communication. Know that there are diverse types. There are different types of communication. Number one, we have verbal communication. Number two, we have non-verbal communication. Number three, we have written communication. Then number four, we have visual communication. All these are the types of communication that you have. Now let's treat the number one, the verbal type. Now the verbal type of communication is the face-to-face way of communicating. Now when you are seeing that person, the person is talking, like what I'm saying now, I'm talking, all right, I'm speaking out. This is a verbal way of communicating, all right. A verbal way of communicating is when you are saying. It could be on phone, it could be a video. You are seeing the person, you are hearing what that person is saying. You can hear that person with your ears and you can see that person with your eyes, all right. And it is not a must you see that person. It could be an audio mode of communicating, and that audio is also verbal, right? As long as you can hear the voice of that person, as long as you can see that person, as long as you can hear what that person is saying, that is a verbal way of what? Of communication. Then non-verbal talks about body language. It talks about facial expression, all right. If I'm expressing myself through action, all right, those are non-verbal, all right. I'm not talking, all right, I'm not speaking out, but you can feel my communication through my reaction. All those are non-verbal way of communicating. Do you understand? So number three of it is written communication. We all know written communication. What you are doing now, I'm lecturing you now, you are writing it down, you are jotting something down, all right, you are jotting some points down. All those are written communication, all right. You are writing it down, they are written communication. Then number last is virtual. Virtual is when you see, and this thing could be in form of an image. It could be in form of an image, as long as you can see that thing. For example, if I'm teaching you mathematics now, I on the board I wrote 2 plus 2, all right. So instead of me just using an abstract way of teaching the 2 plus 2, I can bring 2 counters or 2 stones. I can just use something to represent the first 2, and I will use something to represent the plus, and I will use something to represent the other 2. Then when I join them together, it has given me 4. All right, I pack 2 stones, I pack another 2 stones, then I combine the 2 stones together. The first 2 stones, the second 2 stones, the first 2 stones and the second 2 stones have given me what? 4. Those are virtual way of what? Of communicating. Do you understand? And you are seeing what you are doing. You are seeing the live experiment of what you are communicating. All those are that's the virtual mode of communication. Communication is essential in person and professional settings. All right, in everything we do, in our day-to-day activities, in our day-to-day life, we all need communication. You need to communicate with people before people can know you. You need to communicate with people before people can accept you. You need to communicate with people before people can understand your nature, before people can understand your person. All right, even the Bible says that you must open your mouth wide for me to fill it. So if your mouth is not open wide, Christ can never fill your mouth. Do you understand? So the same thing, the Bible also says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. So you must also speak. You must always speak, rather, in every communication. Communication involves you reacting, it involves you writing, it involves you, reacting. It involves you doing one or two things for you to communicate with another person. Individual can improve their communication skill. Yes, communication can be improved. You can improve the way you communicate. Take for example, you are not too sound in speaking English. You can improve it. You can learn. You can go online, right? You can go online to learn how to speak. Yeah, if you want to learn Chinese now, you go online to learn it. All those are mode of communication. There are some people that doesn't understand English, right? There are some people that doesn't understand Yoruba. There are some people that doesn't understand Igbo. So if you want to understand how to communicate with people around you, you must learn them. Alright, if I want to learn how to communicate with people around me, if I'm in a Yoruba settings, I will need to learn that language before I can communicate with them. And if I don't know how to speak that language, what will I need? I will need someone to interpret it for me. The same thing is applicable to the computer. All what you are sending to the computer does not understand. The language of the computer is zeros and one. So what the computer needs, or what is installed, what is initiated in the computer, is an interpreter. Do you understand? So the interpreter does the work of converting what you are sending to the computer to what the computer understands. Then the computer will now send it back to you to what the human understands. So everything that you do on the physical nerves is also applicable, is also initiated, is also involved in computing. So an interpreter is needed if you know that you are not, you don't understand the way, or you don't understand the language of the people, and if you don't understand their language, there is no way you can communicate. You will definitely need an interpreter. Now we are moving to the place of educational technology in communication. What is the place of educational technology in communication? Why do we need technology in education in terms of communicating?